When the Road Warriors did come in and you heard they were coming in, did you initially think, wow, this is going to be some big money?
Well, yeah. In fact, I talked to Vince about it.
Oh, okay.
It was one of my ideas was to bring him in.
Oh, okay.
And because he asked me, I said, yeah, bring him in. I said, we'll have some unbelievable matches. But you got to build it right, otherwise it's going to be a stinker.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, they're in and it's a stinker. It was almost like as soon as I said that, well, yeah, let's kill off both teams.
Yeah.
You know?
So you don't think the matches lived up to the expectations of probably both fans of the teams?
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
How about the six-mans involving Warrior?
They were terrible matches.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Is it hard sometimes when you get in there with a guy or guys and you're just like, man, I just don't have chemistry with these guys. You know, you just can't get it going no matter what you want to do.
And that was them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the Road Warriors. And I thought it was going to be completely the opposite.
Because you wrestled them a million times before that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just the fans didn't... thank you.
No problem.
Oh, you were the man.
Yeah,
The fans just... They didn't believe it. They didn't believe that the Road Warriors could beat us up.
Yeah.
That was the bottom line. You know? And I think what the fans liked about us is, you know, when we worked with, you know, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty, they knew we could beat them up.
Yeah.
But I think they actually thought that it's going to be a fun match to watch.
Definitely. Definitely.
And with the Road Warriors, they thought, well, I think the Demolition's a lot better team than these guys are. Maybe the Road Warriors are tougher, but, you know, no, we want a good match.
Yeah. And I guess for somebody like you, you could just sit back and watch the politics unfold because you guys are the top tag team. Nobody's coming after you guys.
And they could have taken the belts from us, and it didn't matter.
Yeah.
We still were and the people knew that we were the top guys.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's why I think it was such a stinker when the Powers of Pain, when we worked with them and worked with the Road Warriors, it was a stinker because the people didn't buy it.
Yeah.
They thought that we should have been beating the Road Warriors, and that was it.
Yeah, I have some questions about that. I might as well ask it now since we're there. You know, when the Road Warriors came in, it seemed like there could have been so much in build and anticipation, and it was just like, you know, Road Warriors Demolition, you know, on the next show, you know, or the six-mans when they had the six-mans.
Yeah, they came in and they should have kept us apart for a year or 2 years.
Yeah.
And they never did. They wanted it done. They wanted Bill and I out of there and wanted the Road Warriors to be the hottest thing that ever happened. And it didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, it just kind of,
Yeah.
you know, it was like they were the copycats.
Yeah.
And that's why when everybody says, yeah, what do you think about, you guys copied the Road Warriors and all that. Well, when you really think about it, when we were up here, and we were the hottest tag team anywhere because WCW, only this many people seen it.
Yeah.
WWF, this many people seen it.
Yeah.
By the time they came up, the people are going, you know, why are these guys copying the Demolition?
Right.
Because it's different people that watch the WWF and watch WCW.
Yeah.
They never even knew who the Road Warriors were in a lot of towns. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's a sense of brand loyalty to...
Oh, yeah. It was like, why are we going to have some guys from WCW beat our WWF guys?
Right.
And that's how I think the people perceived it. And that's where I think Vince made a mistake.
Yeah.
Vince could have used it to get us even over more and get the Road Warriors over, because then when we left, the Road Warriors would have been the top team. Then the Road Warriors would have been bigger than us if we would have built it right.
Yeah.
But as far as it is, the Road Warriors were the guys that copied the Demolition.
They were never anywhere near as big in WWF as they were coming from Crockett.
No, they went down.
Yeah.
Big time.
Definitely. Wrestling the Road Warriors in the Omni. But in this territory, I'm sure it's a lot bigger deal here with the way business was and the crowds were and everything. What was it like to, again, going back to Nikita, what was it like to wrestle, guys like Animal you were in high school with at this point?
We had fun.
Yeah.
We had fun. You know, what was hard was as soon as we got in the ring, it was like we were in camp again.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, we were beating the heck out of each other, and we didn't need to.
Yeah.
Because all of us knew how to work by that time.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like, you know, you want one up on the other one. The other one wanted one up on you and everything. But it was fun. When me and Ivan went against the Road Warriors at Was it Starrcade in Charlotte?
Yes.
Oh, it was a fun match.
Yeah.
Fun match. The Road Warriors were the top guys in the AWA at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And we were the top guys in Charlotte.
Yeah.
So when they came in, that was a big thing.
Yeah, didn't you guys wrestle them outdoors at the Bash too?
Yeah.
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 When they were AWA tag champs.
Yeah, that's when Nikita went against Flair.
Yeah.
Flair came in
the helicopter. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great territory.
Yeah. Do you, some guys say, I remember interviewing Nikita years ago on my radio show, and he talked a little bit about the Road Warriors, sometimes not selling, as much as they probably should for some people. Do you think they should have sold a little more, or were you happy with the way things went with you guys?
Well, you hated to work with the Road
Warriors.
I mean, everybody did.
Yeah.
He didn't like it, but you wanted to work with them because they were the deal.
Yeah.
I mean, if you work with them, you knew you were a main event.
Yeah.
But they deserved everything that they got because they were the first team that came in and they really beat up people.
Mm-hmm.
When they came into Atlanta and Ole brought them in, they were the first big guys that actually beat the crap out of everybody. And all the people at home said, who in the world were these guys?
Yeah.
Because everything it looked like a work before.
Mm-hmm.
These guys were really tearing guys' heads off.
Yeah.
So Ole did it right with them.
Now, a team on the other side of the spectrum that you work with that I remember as a kid watching, not to date you, but I remember as a kid watching and seeing the most incredible crowd reactions, the Rock and Roll Express. When the Rock and Rolls would wrestle the Russians. Then they come in and they beat you guys for the belts, and the place went just bananas.
Well, it's funny because Nikolai and myself, when we were in Louisiana for Bill Watts, we were pretty strong. We were the top tag guys there, and then it was the Midnight Express. Well, the Midnight Express and the Rock and Roll Express had these matches that were just unbelievable, and the Rock and Roll Express was over so much as babyfaces there that Bill Watts said, I want you guys to wrestle the Rock and Roll Express. And both Nikolai and I said, I don't think that's a very good idea. Because back then, when you were the big guy, you didn't put over the smaller guys.
Right.
I mean, it just wasn't how it was. And Bill Watts pulled us aside and he goes, no, I'm telling you, you guys are going to get over so big and you're going to sell out every building working with these guys. And Nikolai was like, he's from the old school. There's no way we're going to sell that and everything. Well, after we got with these guys, they sold so much. They made you. And they ended up making us.
Yeah.
Nikolai and Krusher Krushchev. And we had matches every night that were just phenomenal.
Wow.
So by the time we got up to Louisiana, I already wrestled these guys a million times. And Dusty was up there, and Dusty says, we need to get a tag team in here to pop this territory. And I said, Dusty, bring in the Rock and Roll Express. They're in Louisiana doing nothing and going to Memphis, and they're broke, and they need help.
Yeah.
And Dusty goes, I can't put you against, you and Ivan against them because it'll kill you off.
Yeah.
You're our hottest tag team starting off here, this territory, to build it up. We can't do it. And I said, you're going to pop the territory with these guys. You bring them in and let us beat them up and let them try to win, and we cheat and beat them. I said, every building's going to sell out.
Yeah.
They came in, we started working with them, and pretty soon it was the wildest matches ever because the people were with it all the way. They believed that we were killing these guys.
Yeah.
And it ended up being where we were doing hour Broadways with these guys, wrestling them for an hour. And one day we wrestled them on TV. We went like 58 minutes on TBS. That afternoon, we wrestled in Augusta, Georgia, an hour Broadway.
Wow.
And then that night, we wrestled at the Omni in Atlanta, another hour Broadway. We wrestled them for 3 hours
Wow.
in one day.
Wow.
And the people went absolutely berserk. They were probably the funnest tag team to work with.
Really?
Because you could have little girls in the crowd crying. I mean, tears in their eyes because you beat them up.
Yeah.
And Ricky Morton was such a cute little guy. When you hit him, it looked like he was crying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fun guys to work with.
Of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.